I love talking about why you do not need more clothes, become more stylish, and look cooler. So today we're going to be talking about the things you should be paying attention to so that you can turn a good outfit into an intentional outfit and just have a lot more fun. Start noticing these things and applying these little tricks to your day-to-day getting dressed process, and I assure you, you'll feel 100 times better. Starting off with nails, I've never had gel nails be part of my self-care routine. And I know like 99% of people these days do their nails and they go to like the nail salon every month or whatever. I'm not judging that, but I'm just very frugal and I also like biting my nails. I don't have any other vice in my life, but I have found something that might break this habit of mine. And that is having one nail of each color. I don't know why this gives my brain so much dopamine, but imagine having the most simplest outfit and then looking at someone's nails and their nails are each of a color. First of all, you have 10 options of colors. So you can be so intentional with what color you're actually picking. I feel like the choices of colors people make say a lot about their personal taste. There's no good and bad colors, but you just have 10 opportunities at all times to show someone your dream color palette on your nails. My sister says she couldn't do it because it's way too confusing and overwhelming, but I think this looks so good. Now, remember when you were in school and your mom would like dress you up with a bunch of layers because it was winter and it was cold, and you would have like an undershirt with another shirt with a sweater, and that is sometimes the undershirt would peak and it would be like terrible, and you'll be constantly during the day trying to rearrange your clothes so that you could only see the top sweater and not like all the other layers. We are reversing that because something I've noticed that adds such a unique chic detail to someone's look is when the under layers are intentionally placed so that they're peeking out. Even if it's the same color, I think it looks way better when it's two different colors, but it also creates very interesting textures when it is like purposely or non-purpose same color. So look at these pictures and think about next time you're layering things, how you can make it so that the shirt on top has a bigger cleavage and a shorter sleeve and a shorter length than the one you have underneath so that it can peak. And obviously, I think the more it peaks, the more intentional it looks and the more further away from your kindergarten traumas you get. It was like having all those layers, applying patterns on patterns. So having like another shirt that's striped and then like this shirt on top, for example, I think that looks so intentional. And overall, I think intentionality is the key to making an outfit stand out, is you knowing that someone put that extra effort and that things didn't just match on purpose. The easiest way to do this is with a button up underneath the shirt, but that's actually not my preferred way. I also don't love, but this is personal taste, okay? I don't love seeing t-shirts on top of long sleeves. So to me, the best way to do this for my personal taste, because there's no right or wrong, is long sleeve on long sleeve. Which just makes me think that a basic I really want to invest in and thrift is colored basic long sleeves that I could just throw under sweaters and shirts. Next thing is the color. I love when people talk about colors I've never thought about before, and I can have that in my little brain library. Plum color. I think this like darkish burgundy that's more into the purple is really cute. I would love to get some track pants that are this color, and also just pairing plum with like very saturated colors that are technically not supposed to be paired with plum. You like a plum with like a turquoise neon blue. Again, that screams intentionality, because who would pair turquoise neon blue with plum unless it was like 100% intentional, you know what I mean? Moving on, we've got extra tiny earrings. I love a big hoop. I love like a big earring moment, but I am the laziest person on earth to change my earrings. And so for practicality, because I never take my earrings off, neither when I'm sleeping nor when I'm taking a shower, I've been loving just seeing like very dainty hoops. And so this is a great segue into today's sponsor, which is my favorite jewelry brand, both for their quality and their ethics, that I've worked with for years and years now, and they're Ana Luisa. So thank you, Ana Luisa, for watching this video.
Ana Luisa's holiday sale is here, so if you spend $175, you'll get 30% off plus a free pair of diamond studs. I've been using Ana Luisa for the past 2 years, and the quality, guys, is undeniably good. I was trying to think how many times I took these earrings off in the past year or even 2 years, and I think it's been like maybe 5 times. I don't take them off to shower or to go to bed, and look at this. They look new. If anything does happen though, they do offer a 2-year warranty. They're rigorously tested to guarantee that the metals are safe, hypoallergenic, and tarnish resistant. I'm a very nostalgic person, and I do think one day my grandkids will get hand-me-downs from my jewelry from Ana Luisa. These are the ones that I'm usually wearing. I literally, let me show you all my videos from the past year, and you'll probably see I'm wearing these earrings. And then I also have these 2 layered cuffs that I sleep with, and they're very comfortable overall. I love how versatile their pieces are because they really can adapt to each style and they can convey a very minimalist look, but if you stack a bunch of them, you could also look super cool and funky. Basically, because all of their designs are so timeless, the mismatch opportunities here to mix all of the pieces together are endless. If you still have someone that you haven't bought a Christmas present for, this could be a special option. And I have actually gifted my mom, my aunt, and my grandma's Ana Luisa gifts in previous Christmases. Plus, depending on when you are watching this video, they might still offer holiday shipping. And the cherry on top of the cake is that they are 100% carbon neutral. All of their carbon emissions from raw material sourcing to end of life are offset. So you've got huge discounts, great quality, timeless designs, environmental friendly practices. I literally do not know what I could ask more of a brand to do. So with that said, make sure if you do shop Ana Luisa to use my link, because that's how they know that you came through me, that I can keep working with them, and go get your last Christmas present. Yay, back to the video.
Moving on to something that might be harder to achieve depending on what you have in your closet. I feel like my closet is not very diverse in terms of textures and fabrics, but I've been loving to see a bottom and a top that have very opposite textures and fabrics. A very like nude matte top with like pants that are super shiny, a furry thing with a very like elegant and harsh material in the pants. I think matte and shiny, like that contrast is the easiest way to obtain this, but I also just love anything that looks more harsh with then anything that looks more fluffy. I think this could be like an outfit prompt, so when you're getting dressed, looking at your closet and seeing what two very opposite textures you have and then just pairing them regardless of the color or the fit, chances are you'll see that there's a new combination there that is very like unexpected. Moving on to something that our grandmas would laugh about us talking about, which is sweaters over jackets. I know I'm not reinventing the wheel, and we've always seen people tie their sweaters or their jackets around their neck. But I think if you do this in a way where you definitely wouldn't need it, and maybe you already have a sweater and you're just tying one of a completely different color around. Also love how this girl paired this, and I believe this could be a sweater. She could have tied it with the sleeves of the sweater, just tying it asymmetrically, or even like not tying it, though I will say this is not very practical. It will probably fall off your shoulders and adds like a flowiness and a extra length that makes everything more elegant. Now, I've talked about this before in my buy this not that video, but furry jackets that are just very, very, very curly, I think are the exception to the rule, and they're like the most unique ones. Please do not buy first-hand fur coats because there are so many cute fur coats secondhand, both on stores. It's one of the most frequent things to find on secondhand stores and online. If you want one, just go on Epoch, go on Vinted, go on Poshmark, go on ThredUp. But second of all, if you are thinking of getting a fur jacket this season, I would say get it like extra girly. Like, it's just like the fries, the extra curly fries are just way better. Now, this is something so small that you might not notice it and it might not be worth it, and I might just be describing something that no one cares about. But I love outfits where the top, the length of the top is so well put with the length of the high rise of the pants that you have like only 1 inch of belly. I haven't been loving crop tops lately. I haven't been loving showing a lot of belly. But when there's like that little inch of belly that is like, was that on purpose? Was that not? Is she cold? Is she not? I don't know. It feels like kind of sneaky. I feel like I never used to think about the length and the way things fit, and I'm starting to think about that more. If you have pants and tops that go together so well that they almost touch and there's no overlay between the top and the pants, I think that looks so nice. Now, I hate to be the one to repeat things. I hate to be the one to bring things that are not that innovative into the video, but I had to talk about colored socks because I know everyone's tired of hearing how much a pop of color in their socks is lovely and amazing and life-changing, but it really is. And I recently splurged. I didn't know it was splurged because it was super cheap, but I splurged on 5 maybe pairs of socks, each of a super different, super neutral color. I literally took like a month obsessing with the color of the socks I was picking. I'm just gonna list like my top favorite colors for socks. I got this like very burnt, almost brownish yellow, like a yellow that has no green undertone basically. I got this like very dark brown and olive green, and it was a very specific green, and I got it in this like furry-ish material, like a wool sock. It's so cute. I got a bright red, obviously. I got like this type of blue that I don't know how to explain it. And then I got 2 shades of gray because I've just been loving gray accessories. Maybe it's my frontal lobe developing, I don't know. I went to Porto recently and there was raining, and I didn't bring a raincoat or an umbrella because I always think that I'm going to manifest good weather wherever I go, which is not the reality. The reality is just that I live in a place where it barely rains. And I have to say, this is embarrassing to admit, but I felt so cool running around the city without an umbrella and only with like a cap, like a baseball cap. So this is something I want to mention is using baseball caps when it's not even sunny outside, and you technically for utility purposes should not be wearing a baseball cap, but it is so practical for the rain, and it just looks cool because it's like the contrast of it not being sunny and it being winter and you having a baseball cap. And then you also can have oily hair and no one will know. So you're getting the best of both worlds. It's the Hannah Montana method. Now this kind of ties into like the under layers speaking out, but it's like discrete under layers where it's like a little bit of lace speaking out, something that you're tying to your pants, but then your top goes on top of that layer. And so very discrete things that people will notice, but are not very in your face. It's like sneaky little things. And if you make them of very interesting materials or fabric, sequins, lace, crochet, investing in accessories like that versus just buying more necklaces and earrings and scarves is very bulk, because I think sometimes we limit ourselves to the types of accessories you can add to an outfit. So start looking into little pieces of fabric that you can just tie somewhere, tie in your back, tie in your bow hook, put it on top of your pants. Like, look at this lace turtleneck. Isn't it so pretty? Then we've got bangles over sweaters. I feel like I used to think that bracelets were a waste of money in the winter because you're gonna be covered in jackets, in sweaters, and so they won't peak because like they'll be covered. But I've been loving to just put my bangles on top of my sweaters. First of all, because it's gonna be thicker, they don't really move because they're more tight. And last but not least, I am again very sorry. I know this is very obvious, but I needed to include this in the video. Something I've been realizing is in order to have a very cool outfit, you do not need an over the top pattern on your shirt or like a super baggy thing or like a very flashy item of clothing. Every time you're picking a color or a silhouette, if you just take like an extra week or month to pick out the right thing you really want and make it be a flared version of that, something that has a slight different touch to it, your outfits will be just so much easier to make them great because you do not need to focus on accessorizing. The base itself works super well. And with that, what I want to say is colorful shoes. It does not need to be a ballerina flat. It does not need to be a sneaker. But just next time you're picking a staple shoe, think about picking it in a different color. Even if you pick mustard yellow instead of brown, like it will still be in the same color palette, but it will be so different. Yeah, this is very basic, but I think something I want to bring to the new year is being way more picky. Not really buy basics for the sake of having a basic, but always thinking about how can I make this basic I feel the need to have in my closet something that is differentiated. So with that said, I've got 10 minutes until I have the meeting, so I really need to run. Make sure to use my Ana Luisa code in the link in my description box. I truly love Ana Luisa and I'm always so happy to work with them. I love you guys and I will see you in my next video. Bye!